Well, welcome back, everybody. It's been a while since I did any tech tip, but I've been quite busy for the office and for the photo club and so forth. And today we're gonna do something new. What we're gonna do is we're gonna work with firework. How to set up the camera for firework, how you take photo for firework, and what you do post processing for the firework. So let's talk first about the basic setup for the firework. All right, now everybody has a camera, and all the camera with no exception, you can set them in as manual, you can set them in all kind of different setup that you do. So the very first thing you need to understand that the firework is unique. You do not want under any circumstances to have the camera, well, I wouldn't say that, but you do not want the camera to assume or to make decision for you. It's going to be dark, and also firework is very bright. So whatever camera decision will make, most likely will be wrong. It will not be able to focus. It will not be able to zoom in and out, and definitely will not be able to determine the right light that need to come in the camera. So you can set the camera either in manual or bulb mode. B for Bravo or B for boy. That is the bulb mode. If you're not familiar with it, bulb mode basically means that when you click in the shutter, the lens will be open to allow lights in until you release the shutter. So you can have the shutter open even for an hour to take a picture, and then you let go. Once you let go with the shutter, then it closes up and the picture is done. That's a bulb mode. You obviously need a shutter release. Some of the shutter releases, I use Canon shutter release, which allow me to depress the shutter and then just lock it open, and then I will unlock it to release the shutter, to put the shutter off again anytime that I want to do that. So anyhow, that is just the way you do it. So you're going to set a tripod, you're going to set your camera, and you have your shutter release. Now you will look at obviously a place that will have a firework, and there is all kind of different event, all kind of different things through the year. 4th of July is my favorite, where people set up a firework. So you're gonna find a place. You're gonna find an obstructed view where you can look at the firework. You do not have to be close to it. You just have to be able to view it in an open sky. The lens have to be set in infinity, and the way you do that, each lens is differently, but you set it up just into the infinite mark, and then you back it a little bit. Of course, you can take a couple of shots once the firework happen, and you review them to make sure that there is no changes in the focus, or if you want to back it up a little bit, you can do that. So that's now you have your setup, you have your camera, you found the place, you are ready to go. Well, there is a couple of other things you need to consider. One, if there is wind. If there is a wind, you want your back to be to the wind, because if you are facing the wind, when the firework will go, all what you're going to be taking picture of is a huge fog of smoke. So once you do this and you are ready to go to take a firework shots, what you're going to do is you're going to listen. There are several sound and several lights that you're going to time with. You're going to hear what I call it a pick sound. It's a very small pick sound. It almost sounds like pick. That is the actual firework is leaving the tube that's in. Once you hear that, you're going to depress the shutter button for the remote, and you're going to keep it depressed down until you see the light. How many seconds you're going to leave it for the light? You're gonna have to experiment with that. We're going to leave it for 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever the case is, and you're going to hear the big boom, and then you're going to release the shutter button, and you took the picture. Or you can also hear the beep. You can depress the shutter button, and you're going to leave it depressed, and you hear the boom, you see the firework, and you may want to keep it in for 2-3 shots, and then you're going to release it again, so you have a combined shots. So basically, that's how you take a picture of the firework. So you take a picture of the firework, and you come back into to your home, and you're going to do a post processing in a firework. So you can see in here, this is, a firework that I took out of one of my company event photo, and it looks like good photo, but you can notice there is a lot of smoke in there. Well, there are certain things that you do not control during the time of the firework. For example, in this case, they started the firework with what you call it streamer. The streamers are multiple consecutive shots of of a firework that makes a big sound and screams, but it does not really produce a nice colors. But because they are multiple and they are in sequence, they had huge cloud of smoke followed by their firework. Even makes it worse, it was hardly the air was moving. So all the smoke settled in there and the firework started. So I don't care how careful you are, you're gonna see all this smoke within the firework. All right. So I came home, I was expecting to see a great firework. I'm looking at my camera, oh wow, man, this is really great. And then I go in there and say, look at this, oh, it's full of smoke. So now let's treat the firework we can in here, see what will happen. So we're gonna open our Photoshop. We're gonna open obviously the photos that we need. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a copy of it so you can see the before and after. Okay, so I took those pictures in JPEG mode because I needed to reduce them quickly to give them into to the event, to my company, so they can publicize it or whatever the case is they do with it for advertising and so forth. But so it's a JPEG. It does not matter whether it's JPEG or RAW. In all the cases that you have in here, you're gonna go to filter and you're gonna process this in camera raw filter, even if it's a JPEG. And the very first thing you're gonna do, it's a dark sky. So shadows will not matter. So I will slide the shadow all the way to the left. Black doesn't matter. I'm gonna slide the black all the way to the left, the black slider all the way to the left. If I can get hold with it, I guess. Clarity, I'm gonna do a little bit of clarity in here and a little bit of dehaze. And that's it. And you got the before and the after. Before and after. So as you can see, this is the best way to do or process a firework shot. I have also another one that I knitted in 3 different stages just to show you all the different possibilities of what I'm talking about. And here is another shot that I took during this event. This is midway processing it a little bit by moving the clarity and the dehaze by itself. But then I went back and processing by pulling the black and pulling the shadow down. And you can see obviously the difference between the same photo and a different process. And that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed that little quick thing about firework. I know it's a little bit late for this year, but who knows? Maybe they have kind of firework show that you go to and you try both the techniques for taking the photo and the technique for treating it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being in here and stay tuned for the next session.